Video will open. Because I didn't manage to catch you saying I'm in space. Hi, Morrigan. Cool. So let's just jump into it and get it done, and then we can piss around afterwards. So, first of all, do you want to describe how Morrigan looks right now? How has she changed from scrappy young pirate?
To like angry, wanted. I've ummed and ahed about whether the dreads would stay. I feel like from a practical point of view, they don't require much maintenance, but also on the flip side, they also kind of require maintenance. It depends how well kept you want to appear.
Yeah. So I was thinking, this is just my thoughts, take it or leave it, is that given that she's now very like, I have a fucking focus and a mission and nothing's going to get in my way, she would go like full practical. So I was thinking like, if she has long hair, it's braided backwards into something that won't get in the way of her fighting, running, climbing trees sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. I've sort of thought to going back to just the practical braid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tactical braid?
Tactical braid, yes. Because on the flip side, she's also aware that there will be occasions where, you know, she has to not look like an insane wild person.
Yeah.
She's not that far gone. You know, it means to an end and all that. And, you know, at the end of the day, she is still technically a lady.
Yes.
Technically.
Yeah.
She's still got her signet ring thing.
I think the signet ring was actually lost along with Marcus's. They got nicked early
I don't
campaign.
know, you put it in the thing. Signet ring. Oh, I think she got a fake of her own.
Yes.
Last time.
Yes.
And
Let's
yeah,
go with that.
again.
I mean, she could have another one stamped, I think, like, in the time.
Yeah. I imagine at some point she would have returned home and been like, yo, can I just get another signet ring? Because it kind of got nicked.
Yeah.
By that dude that happened to just die as he married. I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And so, Tarka isn't with you, but you have a new friend. Can you describe that friend as well for us?
Fluffy doggo.
Can you describe it better?
That's a good enough description.
Okay, what colour is the fluffy samoyed, is it? How do you say it?
Samoyed.
Samoyed.
Samoyed-esque doggo. He would be white.
Okay.
Although in hindsight that seems like a terrible idea for sneaking.
But it does have that cool Okami vibe. Does he also have like red tattoos like under his eyes? You know?
I mean, if there's a way to do that, then sure.
Yeah, I mean.
Actually, or I was thinking, if not white, then sort of go with the name, having sort of a very sort of mixed, sort of white, light grey, dark grey scheme, like a cloud.
Sure. That sounds cool. So some other things that I sort of need to tell you about is he has an arcane collar. So a collar that has a metal plate, so it's not a metal band around his neck because that would be uncomfy. But on the leather, it's got like a metal plate with some arcane engravings that helps you guys to share some of your abilities. Which I don't know if you want to keep them secret or not, but yeah, that's sort of how one of the ways in which you guys are linked together.
Yeah,
so it's
this one doesn't talk.
no.
It's almost like you don't want to do another funny voice.
Oh, on the contrary.
You don't know how to translate that into, you know, how a dog would say things.
Again.
So, actually, yeah, thinking about that.
Nope. Quite the opposite.
That sounded like Stephen Merchant.
So yeah, we got Arcus, the Samoyed, who is let's call him a oh no, it's going to rain coloured dog.
Yeah.
Which is like, I imagine it's like dappled as well, and that helps with the stealth.
Yeah.
So he's like not all.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Cool.
So.
He can have like little tattoos and stuff if you want him to. He could have the like Morrigan shaved side head as well to get it on brand. So he's got like a little mohawk.
That would bring me a lot of joy.
Then it's canon.
Although that seems kind of mean. I'm not gonna shave my dog.
No, he's cool with it, and which is part of the character of how this, how we built this, is that Arcus is like fiercely loyal and loyally fierce. So like even if there's like explosions and shit going on, it will sit like stock ahead watching it until you give it an order, and then it will just do the thing, and then come back and be like, I did the thing. Yeah, it's absolutely soldier dog, which is what you need right now. So, Morrigan and Arcus, what you have been doing for the last... I still haven't really decided on a number of years. Can you... Tell you what. Can you roll me 3d6?
Okie dokie.
And we will decide how many years it's been for everyone.
Apparently this app also makes dice sound if you wanted to.
Sure.
Which terrified the crap out of me when I tried it out. My volume was on full.
Clatter, clatter, clatter.
That was basically what it was. Where the hell has it gone? I hope I didn't accidentally delete it. Oh, there we go. Crit dice. So we say 3d6.
Yeah, or maybe, hang on, let me do math. Can you 5d4 instead, please?
Okay. Oh, Muffin just keeps running around in circles. I think she wants to go out, so I'm going to let her out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Give me 2 ticks. I am leaving space. Hi.
Hi. Welcome back, Cosmonaut.
So, what was it? How many d4 was it?
5.
5. 8.
Cool. So it's been 8 years.
It's disappearing in space.
So it's been 8 years. In that time, your sort of sole function has been to complete 3 tasks. Find your mother, find Nehemia, and find the devils that have you still have that gold tattoo around your neck.
Gold choker.
Yeah. So yeah, you're trying to fix those 3 things. Meanwhile, now I think the whole party has a different headcanon about this because I think everyone's forgotten. After Stagmeadow was at least the manor house of Stagmeadow was destroyed by Jormungandr when it arrived. You guys didn't ever go back. Other than to discover that when people went in, they fell under some sort of telekinetic control, did something and then left and forgot all about it. So none of you have actually set foot in there, in Stagmeadow, for about 8 years. What you've been doing as part of your research and trying to get back into there, because you've basically lost your home at this point, is that you know that there is a massive ziggurat in the middle, so like a big stepped temple. That's what people were going in and building, mindless slaves.
I remember that bit because
you learned that.
With, freaky deceased dragonborn.
Something along those, to do with that particular arc, yeah. So what you've been doing in this time, as well as putting feelers out and working with Raoul to try and locate all the people you're trying to locate.
Wait, so it's been 8 years and I've managed to achieve none of those things.
Well, hang on.
I was like, oh man, let's just sort it out.
One of the big things is that you've managed to, bit by bit, save all of the people that were under that slave cycle thing in their mind.
An endless side quest.
Yeah, quite. You got everyone out of the city, so it's basically abandoned, and you have managed to work out a way to alter yourself so that you're not under the control of it. So you've gone through some magical ritual stuff with the help of Raoul, so that it doesn't affect you. That has had some minor side effects that you don't really talk about. But it now means that today you are ready to go into your home where you are going to go check stuff out. Raoul has also given you some information that he thinks that the gate stones that you're looking for, which you can describe if you want, or I'll leave it mysteriously vague, are linked to the thing that was going on in here. And the gate stones, you hope, are going to help you in your mission. So, we'll start off the narrative with you literally just outside Stag Meadow. You've got the walls where the gates would have been, but the gates have been sort of broken in and the wood has rotted. All of the sort of stone structures are still there, but it's completely overgrown. So there's moss and lichen and weeds just growing out of all of the cracks of everything. There's like big vines and creepers coming down the walls. It's starting to blend back into the forest that it's next to. And there's a very different aroma coming from the city now. That is a mixture of new life and old death. Is the best way to describe it. It's damp and solid and earthy. Yeah.
Swampy.
Yeah, dry in some respects, very moist in others. So as you set foot into the city, how are you going about that?
I mean, can I hear anything?
Do you want to make a perception check for me? First roll of campaign 2.
Perception. I do not have the helpful numbers there.
Oh, did I not fill it? Oh, hang on, I'll tell you what it is.
Because I think you didn't. I don't think I got the new one that has all the things written in. I've just got like a dot next to perception.
Yeah, you are good at it. It's +8.
Okay, cool. So that is 21.
Cool. So.
Roll 13.
You scan around, and Arcus sort of does the same at the same time. You can hear sort of groaning noises. You're in a big cobbled courtyard, basically, at the moment, with the ziggurat visibly in direct line of sight, but it's about sort of 300-400 feet off. And you can hear groaning coming from like there's a bridge sort of walkway, and there's a shaded area where you can hear groaning going on. You also hear some like scuffling of something sort of scrabbling against a wall off over to your left as well. So there's some alive things here, you imagine.
Okay. Do I have a rough idea of what those alive things would be?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
So straight roll, add nothing.
10.
Could be anything. Yeah.
They are probably alive.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely alive things. You know that there's definitely wild animals that have been running around here because it's been abandoned. Equally, there's also nasty monster shit that's been going on. So it's a bit of a coin flip.
Okay. I'm wondering if I should have Arcus go and have a little gander. Where is it? There it is. Could I cast Beast Sense and have Arcus go and check it out?
Yeah, for sure. So Beast Senses, you can perceive through your thing, but you're blind and deaf while you're doing it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna climb up the tree and get myself comfy.
Okay. Do you want to roll a stealth check for me?
Yes, I would very much like to do that.
It's +15.
I rolled 16, so that's 31.
Okay, you go back to campaign 1. Yes, absolutely. Sure. And then if you can roll a perception check for Arcus for me, please, which he gets +8 as well.
Okay, he got 19.
Okay, so where's he going? Where's he starting?
So I mean, I'll give him some some credit. He is a doggo. He can smell things better than I can.
Yeah.
What does he smell?
He smells all the things I already described in terms of like the plant life and the old stone and stuff. He can smell like rot and decaying flesh certainly around this courtyard very, very strongly. He can smell things like old leather and bone further away, but he can't sort of pinpoint it right now. He's just got the scent of old leather and bone. And what other things would you smell? Yeah, I think at the moment he's overwhelmed by the smell of necros.
Okay. Is he able to sort of cautiously sort of move towards where the sound is coming from? But
which one? So you've got a scrabbling noise or a groaning noise?
Groaning noise.
Groaning noise. Okay. Is he? You said carefully. So can you roll stealth for him, please? He gets +9.
I rolled 15.
24. Nice. So
Yeah.
he silently pads off towards the shady bit under the raised walkway. As he gets into the shadows just by the end and sort of squats down, you can see through him that there's some humanoid figures standing with sort of bits of flesh like stripped off their arms, and they're like jaws hanging in there. Like I don't know if you've been watching or playing any of The Last of Us 2, but
No, I have not.
very stumbling around looking for something to be angry at.
Yeah.
And you can see 3 of them.
Okay.
Not together because they're not like communing, just sort of stumbling around in the same sort of like 40 foot by 40 foot area around the corner.
So what kind of what it would be like in shopping centres moving forward?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's just the 3 of them.
Yeah, that you can see at the moment.
Okay, and how close are they to the thing?
The
Pyramid
ziggurat.
Yeah, I keep forgetting what it's called.
If it's in the centre of the courtyard and you entered down here.
Sorry, it's the like that was a symbol.
Praise be. So if that
thing now.
if that
I mean,
yes.
I'm getting the feeling like it's a weird cult thing, so
The next time there's a cult, they will do this.
good.
So if that's in the centre of the courtyard and you came down here, Arcus has gone off this way, so where the walkway is, and they're sort of up the corner. So they're as far away from it up here as you were down here, but they're just kind of around.
Okay. I will. Yeah. So if Arcus can sort of come back from there and maybe sort of check out the parameter of the
Ziggurat.
Ziggurat.
Yeah.
Zigzag.
Yeah, just call it temple.
Yeah, that works too.
Around the temple.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's just me being a moron. So what is he going for? Like past the zombies stealthily, or is he going back to where the
Back round would be safer.
So he gets round to where the scraping noise is. Can you roll another stealth check for him, please? +9.
Okay. No! Stop that. Ugh, 7 + 9.
So 16. Okay. So still relatively stealthy around the edge. You can see that there's a smaller building further off to the side that you're on, and there is a locked house. But out of the hole of the window, you can see a very large shoulder and sort of muscular arm, also looking very grey and like with holes in it, just like scratching around the outside of the window. And you can see that actually there's sort of chunks of the stone have been coming away from the outside of this stone building to allow more of this creature to come out, but it's just constantly scratching. You can see like one of its fingers is like rubbed down past the nib of how it's just like clawing and clawing constantly to get out.
Digging from the inside out?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's some little house or building where something got zombied, locked itself in, you presume, before it was a zombie, and now it's trying desperately to get out without the ability to unlock a door.
Oh, okay. Cool. It sounds like there's at least 2 combat situations, but I'm on my own, sort of. I have learned to never just run into combat. I've played a bard now. I know that there are other options
Sure.
sometimes, and also sometimes it's inevitable because DM makes it so. Or my dice rolls do.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there is cat fluff in my drink.
I mean, surely you're just used to this now. You have You have 2 cats. Your entire life is just there
Cat
is
fluff.
in this.
Sure.
Right. Okay.
I'm just going to grab a dice as well, just 2 seconds. Cool, hi.
Just trying to think how to. Right. So where is the big trapped beastie in relation to me?
So, again, if the temple's in the middle, you entered sort of down the bottom here, but you've gone off to a tree, so slightly off to the side. They're over on the left here, in the middle.
Okay. So I'm in a relatively decent place compared to the 2 possible instances of combat.
Yeah, I mean, there's you don't have to walk through anything dangerous
Yeah.
directly to get to the entrance to the ziggurat, the temple. They're just those are things that are around.
Okay. Can I have? I'll have Arcus sort of scope out a relatively safe path to the temple.
Yeah, sure. I mean, excuse me. So you seeing through him and knowing the area anyway, there is quite an obvious entrance to the temple, which is again in the middle. If you'd sort of just kept walking mostly straight on from where you came in, not going to the right or to the left, there is a gap in between the steps that goes down instead of up. So there's a downward staircase with an open thing with no doors on it. It's just sort of like a square archway.
Okay.
If you want us to look further than that, then you have to let me know.
How much cover is there on the way to that?
It's open plaza, so very little other than there's the walkway and the wall up beside that. So from above, not very much.
Okay.
If you imagine King Louis's temple in Jungle Book, it's that sort of.
Yeah. Right. What? So if Arcus was to approach, like the entrance, what can he smell and see?
Okay, give me a perception check again, which I think is +8 if I remember correctly. Yes.
14.
+8 is 22. Okay. So
There'll be a 1 coming soon, I'm sure.
the smell of leather and bone is stronger at the entrance to that ziggurat. What you can see is a staircase going down that is completely dark. And with, what did you get? 22?
Mm-hmm.
You can also see what looks like just someone's hand on the wall, because it turns around to the right once it's gone down. You can just see a hand on the wall, which then sort of just slips away.
Okay. What does the hand look like?
Even though that was a very high roll, he's looking down the bottom of the staircase and it was just a hand, so it didn't seem rotten, but that's as much as...
But it was a hand rather than, just bones?
Yes.
Okay, so it had at least some flesh on it.
Yeah. Even if the rest was awful and they had just one nice hand left.
Okay. So we're not fighting a skeleton army. dress skeleton army.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. That's why I'm vegan, so I don't get too much calcium, so my skeleton doesn't get too strong and leave me.
Anyway.
Okay. I will have Arcus return.
Okay. He does so. In a flash.
Yeah. Teleports. And I will end the beast sense spell.
You stop looking at yourself.
God, yeah, that's weird. I was there like. Okay. Let's go and check out this spooky temple.
Okay.
But not before I doubly make sure that no one will notice me and cast Pass Without Trace.
So you're adding 25 to your stealth roll, is what you're saying.
And Arcus's.
Oh no, he'll only add
yeah.
19. Fine, roll for both of you, just for the sake of getting to know the numbers.
Okay, so...
You first.
Yep. 20... I mean, just as well, because I rolled a 7.
Sure, but that's 32. And then Arcus
4.
plus 19
So
is 23.
Just as well I did this then.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you both excitedly sort of running almost towards the door, but with the magics that you've got trailing around you, all anyone else can see is just the wind blowing and some leaves forming shapes around you.
I'm to run excitedly. This is a...
He rolled a 4! At least the dog did.
Fine.
So, but still, like it's high enough that nothing notices you immediately. You get to the entrance of the ziggurat. Now, there's still everything else is overgrown, but it seems that nothing is growing on this. It's like if you just hoovered one little bit of your floor, where everything else all matches with everything, but none of the life seems to touch the ziggurat. It's formed this like perfect square around it.
Someone spilled something and used vanished carpet.
Yes.
And now the rest of their carpet looks really dirty.
Yeah, they've made it too clean.
Yeah.
And yeah, you stand. The stone that it's made from is local. There's nothing really exotic about it. It's cold to the touch, as you would expect. The staircase dips down, as you saw, exactly the same as with Arcus. You don't see a hand anymore. Just a staircase going down into the darkness, and then it turns off to the right. And it's only because you have dark vision that you're able to see any of that.
I miss being able to turn into a bat right now. A bat and a dog walk into a temple.
Why is the bat walking? That feels...
Because I said so. Okay, well, continuing to be as sneaky as possible, I guess we'll cautiously enter.
Okay. You start...
I can't do detect magic or any of that nonsense, so...
Yeah, I mean, you've got eyes and a brain, but yeah. So you start to walk down the steps, treading silently. I mean, you rolled high enough that you're still going like that. You turn round to the right, and the stairs go down again. Turns to the left, stairs go down again. Eventually, going down this staircase, it branches off into different alcoves. The alcoves don't go anywhere. They've just got pedestals that you imagine would be for iconography or sculptures or whatever, but they're empty. It's unfinished. And they're just these corridors, and they go down sort of like a ribcage sort of thing as you're walking down the spine, if you will. And as you get closer, you come into a room that again still isn't lit, but you can see sort of the grey shapes of an altar in the middle. It's about 50 feet by 50 feet wide, about 12 foot tall, so quite a high roofed bit. and you can see like figures, shapes in the darkness, but it's too far ahead of you for you to make out what they are, if they're moving, whatever.
Okay.
And I imagine at that point you might stop and make a decision.
Yeah. So other than beasties, or possible beasties, I guess, shapes, possibly hostile, possibly not. What else was there? Sorry.
That's what. There was an altar in the middle. It's like a big
Okay,
sort
yeah.
of stone
Is
table
there
sort of.
anything on the altar that I can see?
You can't see from this distance. You just see the big stone square shape that you've come to expect as a long-time dungeon crawler.
Someone either has been or will be snapped on that. Or both.
Yeah.
Okay. The shapes, how big are they?
Various.
I mean, are they
All within all.
humanoid
Yeah, all within the realms of humanoid.
and medium?
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing large that you can see.
Right. Okay. And sorry, how many roughly?
More than 6, but you can't see to the back of it yet.
Okay. 6 seems like bad odds.
Depends if they're
Okay.
goblins.
Oh yeah, good point. I can just yell at them.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I am your queen, what are you doing? That's how it works, right? You
Yeah.
kill their leader multiple times.
Yeah. Goblin rules are always prison rules, like all the time.
I mean, I don't know if that's a joke or not. It's
Or maybe it's that our prisons are goblin. Anyway.
are you saying prisoners are goblins?
No, they just follow the same code of conduct.
Right, are there any doorways at all?
There's one going in. You can't see any further into the room to see if there's any going out other than this one.
Am I going to regret this? I'm going to try and sneak a bit into the room.
Okay. Can you roll a stealth check for me, please?
Yep. Oh, please don't be a 1. This will be the worst timed 1 ever. That's a 5. But I've still got passed out traits.
Yeah, so it's 30. Yeah, so
Do I
you
have to pass this as well?
is he coming in with you?
Yes.
Go for it. I mean, it's still add 19, so I don't, unless it's a
Yeah,
1.
No, he rolled an 11.
Okay, so also 30.
His excitement has died.
Yes.
Like, oh, I know it's serious time.
I know of this time. This is where probably I eat something.
He's like,
Yeah.
he's torn between wanting to behave and also wanting free dinner.
So you use your years of not being seen to creep into the room to get a better look. As you step through the threshold, you stop sort of dead in your tracks as you hear one of the sconces just like light up. Until all of the sconces around the edge of the room have all lit. And you can now see very clearly what's in the room. And you still rolled the stealth that you've had. Fortunately, the things that you see as the room lights up are there's no one currently stabbed on the altar, but there are bodies littered around. There is one laid almost directly in front of you, which is fallen out as if it was like walking towards you. You can see a group of others clustered around a small chest, a really beautiful sort of polished wood with gold lining and inlay. You can see some bodies around that. You can also see one. Now you've seen this shit before. It's clearly a person turned to stone, not a statue. But there's a petrified.
I don't know if I've seen it. I've definitely been it.
Well, still, where where they are sort of mid, like, and they've been turned into stone. And there's some other odds and ends scattered around the floor that you need to go through individually and pick out. At that point, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and a whisper in your ear of, "Oh, I reckon I see what's going on here." And as you flick your head to where the voice is, it's just Samoyed sitting there, waiting for you to do something. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no! Wait, what do I get plus on?
For wisdom saves,
Yeah.
+3.
Okay. Okay. I rolled 17.
20. Okay. So
Although,
you,
actually, no, in hindsight, I don't know what things are like at this level. Like, actually, you've got to get 25 or more.
well, all that you know is that was strange, probably some magical bullshit. You kind of you brush it off. So the room is still lit.
I want to run away, sir.
Yes, quite.
Okay. I'm anxious now, as both player and character, I guess. What the voice I heard?
Yeah,
Can you tell me a bit more about it?
I can, but can you roll me a history check to see how much detail I give you?
Okay.
You get plus nothing.
Hey, I rolled an
18.
18.
It sounded pretty much exactly like Nehemia.
Oh. Was it friendly or unfriendly?
Yeah, it was friendly. The same way as friendly as she normally is. You guys have that sort of stone cold friendship, like you're right, dickhead, sort of thing. So, but yeah, she's her,
Hours.
yeah, pretty much. She's her usual self.
Okay. I'm gonna decide that that's just some magical bullshit trying to pick something from my head. So sorry, you said that there was a chest that's definitely not a mimic.
There's a beautiful chest next to the altar, sort of not positioned nicely. You might assert that it was dropped by the people that are now dead who should have been carrying it.
Oh, can I? Okay, what happens if I take another step into the room?
You take another step, nothing else seems to change. Take a third step just to be sure. Nothing so far.
Okay. Can I try and very carefully? Have any of the things milling about?
Moved. No.
Okay, so they're not moving at all.
No, they seem to be regular corpses, not the other kind.
Oh, sorry. When you said that there were shapes, I assume you meant like upright.
So there's the statue one that's like frozen in place. There's the altar, the box, the bodies on the floor. But yeah, those were the shapes that you saw. It wasn't that you saw like a group of people standing up and having drinks and then they're gone. It's the shapes match what you half saw.
Okay. So everything is still, nothing's moving, nothing can observe me that I can see.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to make an investigation check and have a route around? Investigation, you get +8.
Oh, I rolled 16.
So 24. So you can see that.
I'm suspicious. I'm gonna get a 1, a really.
So the one that was on the floor right near the entrance or exit, the door, is dressed or the clothes that are left on the rotted body are quite sort of commonplace, dark, just commoner clothes. All of the other bodies in the room and the people, and you can see this most clearly on the one that's stone, they have sort of dress robes on, so very sort of half monk, half acolyte sort of thing, where they've got a tabard down the front, and they've got very floaty clothing on. What you can now see, there are 9 bodies in the room. The 8 of them that aren't the guy at the front all seem to be wearing the same sort of symbolism, except 4 of them are the sort of clothly ones, and then the other 4 are in either they have decayed leathers on them, or they have metal plate armor on them as well.
Okay. Let's go and check out this chest.
Okay.
Carefully.
What exactly are you doing?
Slowly, cautiously approaching.
Yeah, you step up to it. It does not wake up.
What happens if I shoot an arrow at it?
Are you going to?
Yep.
Cool. Make an attack roll, where you add 10 to the roll.
So, roll 13, so 23 in total.
Sure. So you precisely, and it jabs into the wood of the top of the box. Other than being hit with an arrow, it doesn't flinch.
Okay, I will go and gingerly retrieve my arrow.
Okay, just roll a d2 for me.
1.
You grab it and it snaps as you. Oh, for fuck's sake! So there's still like the head buried in. I'm never going to prime arrow again. So yeah, and then again, walking forwards is not like there's none of the bullshit that you are anxious of so far.
Okay. Do I still have the thieves' tools?
Yes, you do.
Excellent. Is there a lock on the chest?
There is, but it's a twisty one that has untwisted. So like it looks open, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Standing as far back as possible, I will use a dagger or some other, whatever is my longest, pointiest object to try and flick it open.
Yeah, so you can get the end of your longbow and just sort of lift it gently up. What you can see as you lift it is, it looks like there probably was some sort of magical trap on here. But you can see now that you lift it, there's like some sort of like charring around the lip, where something's already set off. So as you lift it very, very carefully, nothing's exploded yet. You keep lifting it up, you just end up opening up the box, and it doesn't explode, or whatever it was that might have happened.
From where I am, can I see anything in it?
Yeah. So inside, it's beautifully made inside as well. The walls of it are lined, and it has this what's the word I'm looking for? Like a holding piece that's been carved out of wood on the inside, which has 9 sockets basically for what looks like sort of fist-sized gems or something. You can see all of the holes are empty. That's about it. It's yeah. Carry on.
Okay, cool. Now that I'm a bit further in the room and it decided to light itself up, can I see any other door?
Yes, you can. There's one directly opposite the door you came in. As you turn around as well, you see now sat on the altar is Nehemia, and she's sort of just dangling her legs off the edge of it. So,
can I try and decide if it's bullshit or not?
You want to roll insight?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I don't think I do very well.
You get +3.
Yeah, didn't think so. Oh, I rolled a 19 though.
Okay. 22. Okay. So you see her clear as day, sat there, and she starts talking to you. You sort of take a moment and sort of just shut your eyes and rack back through, like, why, how could she be here? Like, all those sort of thoughts, like, where have I got with that? Have I just forgotten? Sometimes I get a bit, because of the stuff that I did to help protect myself against the telepathy stuff. What's going on here? And then you sort of assert to yourself, no, I'm still looking for her. So if she's here, then this is where she's always been, and you open your eyes and she's not on the altar anymore.
Cool. Mindfuckery is happening. Yay.
Can you roll another wisdom save for me, please?
Yeah. Alright, cool. I rolled 13.
16. Okay. Yeah, you're like, oh, just, I'm getting sick of this. And
Can you stop?
yeah.
Ah. Okay. Can I approach the altar?
Yeah. You are now nearer the altar than you were.
Is there anything on or around it that's odd?
You can see that all the dust that was on the top, there is now sort of a butt groove out of it where Nehemia wasn't sat.
Cool. Is there anything else to look at in this room other than corpses and an empty chest and a butt print?
You, rather than rolling, you hear another whisper in your ear of, hey, have you checked that guy's bag? And you see that the door you came in at, the guy that had like fallen on the ground, that doesn't look like the other guys, has a leather satchel that you haven't opened yet.
Can Arcus smell anything funky?
Make a perception check for Arcus with advantage, because it's to do with smell. So advantage +8.
Okay, so advantage. So first roll. Second roll. So the highest roll was 7.
7 plus 8 is 15.
One of them was a 1, so for advantage.
I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on nasally right now. There's smell of death, smell of box, smell of tomb.
He just does the thing that dogs do when they smell something they really don't like, and they're just like.
Yes. So you know he's not he's not like a regular house dog where he's still sort of like at your side, sort of gun pose still, but he's not picking up on something where he can go, aha, there's mystical bullshit in the corner. It's just smells like what it looks like.
Okay. Well, again, longbow, flip open it, try and like use it to jiggle things around.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear that there is something rattling in the bag. Using your longbow, unless you're going to try and lift it up and let everything drop out, then you'll have to actually go to the bag to pick stuff out of it.
Yeah, well, it was more to just sort of see if anything alive was going to, you know...
Sure, yeah, no.
Devour.
Nothing scuttles out and there don't seem to be any teeth.
Okay. In that case, I'll go closer to it, but I'm still not going to put my hands in it.
Okay.
You just don't put your hands in an unknown bag.
It's just good manners.
No, safety. Safety first.
I know, it's good.
I will use my... what have I got that I can utilize?
Your equipment concludes signet ring, leather armor, 2 daggers, an explorer's pack, a longbow, a quiver, and the Herman.
In an explorer's pack, does that include a crowbar?
I want to say yes. It's either explorers or dungeoneers that has the crowbar. I'm going to say you've got a crowbar.
Okay. Can I just use that to sort of have the bag as flat on the floor as possible and just point stuff out with the crowbar?
You're going to do a scoop.
Basically, yeah. I'm not touching anything.
That's fine.
I've
So
learned my lessons.
you feel it connect with a couple of things. You drag one thing out, it's another smaller little leather, what looks like a coin purse, and jingles like a coin purse. You get onto something that's less hard, and as you drag it out, there's just this sort of smear of what was maybe once food, but it's now just made your crowbar dirty and the bag. And then the last thing you pull out sort of rolls quite nicely, and you can see a very perfect looking garnet gemstone with some arcane engravings all the way around the edge of it. It looks very much like the gatestones you've been after, and definitely looks like it would fit in one of those 9 holes in that chest you just opened.
Cool. Can I do some sort of arcana check to see if it's likely to do anything unpleasant to me?
I mean, you get +0 on Arcana, so can you... What is it? You're trying to work out whether it's going to hurt you if you touch it?
Yeah.
Sure. In that case, do you want to make instead just a straight intelligence check? Because you still get +0 anyway. 11. So you read it, like, you've been in adventuring parties where stuff hurts you. You can see that there's definitely arcane writing around the edge of it. It's not in a language that you can read. Wait, hang on. Let me double check that because you read a lot. Oh no, it is. It's in Infernal. So yeah, you can basically you read what is essentially, because you're not turning it over as easily. It's basically the gate spell written in Infernal. So nothing in it says anything like if touched, deal 8d6 lightning damage or anything like that.
There's no disclaimer on it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
Curses aren't always written, but you can't see any cursed writing.
Okay. I will pick it up gingerly.
Hang on, I might be an idiot. No, I'm right. Okay. Yeah, you pick it up. You hold it. I mean, it feels warm to the touch. It's like picking up a.
Don't often do.
Yeah, it's hot potato. And as you turn so again, it's about fist sized, so it's small enough that it fits perfectly into your axe. But it is quite large for a gemstone. Like, it would be worth a lot if you were to sell it. As you turn it around, you can see on the inside of it, rather than it being solid stone, you can see what looks like a burning fire that, as you move it, rolls around. It stays burning in a sort of gyroscopic sort of way.
Nice.
And is probably why it's quite hot. So you have that now.
I mean, if it's written in Infernal, I suspect that it might be a gate to somewhere a bit toasty.
Quite.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna pick up that coin purse too.
Cool. It is a coin purse that contains 43 gold and 7 silver.
Excellent. So is this gatestone the first one I picked up?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the one that we discussed?
We discussed all of them. I don't understand what you mean. Oh, no, sorry. So you've created your own?
As you do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's with the help of Raoul.
Okay. So he's like, yes, you need a new gatestone. I know what it should do. It should basically just be a vault.
Well, that's the most... That's the highest level of enchantment that he was able to provide for you.
Yeah,
Was a demi-plane.
It just makes me, it just amuses me. It's like, it could be like somewhere safe to sleep. I mean, I guess it technically sort of might be, but also, but no, somewhere to put your money.
I mean, he's
it's
nothing
like-
if not a pragmatist.
Yeah, he's like, saves you carrying money around.
You do also remember, because he keeps going on about it, that if you only have the choice to take one stone, it should be the material plane one, because then wherever you are, you can get back again.
Yeah.
Which is why, for canon as well, with your gold place, you're only ever to chuck stuff into it, or if it's within reach, in fact, no, you can't even reach into it because you have to step through. So you just chuck stuff in, and then it seals back up again.
Hang on, so it's a vault that I can't take anything out of?
Not until you've got the material gatestone.
Right, okay.
It's an ISA.
ISA.
Or perhaps a trust fund.
Yeah. Except instead of turning 21, it's when you have
Material gatestone, yeah.
gatestone. Okay, cool. Okay, good to know. Now I know definitely not to put all of my money in there. Because actually no, I can, because I can literally make money. Okay, cool. So how much gold was it? Sorry.
43 gold and 7 silver.
43 gold and 7 silver. I will make a note of that. Screw it. While we're here, let's have a quick cursory rummage of everyone else.
Okay, make an investigation roll for me, please, which is +8.
18.
18, okay. You do, before you're finished with the dude on the floor with the bag, you do notice that he also has a signet ring on, which seems to have like a little picture of a door on it, which you can take. Yeah, yoink. There's
part of two families now.
So make a history check. So just rolled straight d20.
14.
14. Okay, so this some signet rings are sort of to show your lineage. There are other ones that just show your membership of certain parties. So this one's just made out of pewter, not gold like your signet ring, and it just shows that he's part.
Scrub.
Yeah, he's part of some business or union or gang, whatever. So it's just so you know, it's not like this wasn't Lord Squiggly Bob of.
No, probably someone from like a fraternity.
Yeah, exactly. He sent off 3 Pringles can tops. The other guys, so the guy turned to stone, you can't really take anything off unless you want to snap it off and then have stone. The guys who had leather armor on, the leather is rotted away, so again, mostly just naked dudes. There's one of them that's carrying 14 copper, which you can take. The guys in plate mail, the plate mail is old and not been taken very good care of, and it's heavy, but there is 2 lots of plate mail that you could spend half an hour stripping off a corpse if you wanted to. And then around them you have got 2 long swords, again old and a bit crap, and a crossbow that most of the wood is rotted away.
Okay, so nothing of use.
There's, like I said, I think 17 copper. So.
I've already taken that.
Sure. Sorry, that's my alarm. Cool.
Okay, on to the mystery door.
Oh, the back bit.
Yep.
Sure.
Can I still be maintaining my stealth?
Just roll again for me.
We're rolling for Arcus as well.
Yes, please.
Sorry?
Yes, please. Do yourself first.
Okay, so 9 for me, 6 for Arcus.
I'm basically just checking if you get ones, but yeah, that's fine. So you.
You'll tell if I get one because I'll be like.
Um,
and we need to do in a row.
so
I have rolled a 1 now.
you look.
Not now, but.
No, I understand. Yeah. You look sort of round the corner. It does go off both left and right. As you look round that corner, and then sort of look back in the room where Arcus is, you see that all the torches have now gone out. You look back round the corners again, still maintaining your stealth, and you can see in the dinge, you can see what was someone just walking away to the right hand side, down another corridor.
Oh, they baited me. Damn it. Trapped. Other than lockpicks, what else is in thieves' tools?
That's basically all it is.
So there wouldn't be like a mirror for looking under doors and stuff?
No, that's in the
And
burglar's
stuff.
pack. So
Okay.
the burglar's pack has like silk rope, a mirror, ball bearings, that sort of stuff. But no, thieves' tools is pretty much just the jangly things that you'd unroll from a leather.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, well, sneaky following.
Okay.
5.
You walk down the corridor, so it kind of branches.
Wait, can I check the traps along the way?
Yes. Roll investigation for me again.
I rolled 50.
So plus 8 is 23. Okay. If you come across any traps, then you will notice them, unless they're very, very, very well hidden. You don't seem to notice them as you cautiously progress your way along this. It sort of seems to follow the outside of the room. You follow it along. It then, rather than leading you back to where you started, goes out again and starts to follow. And you sort of feel the general way of it. You feel sort of like you're going round the outside, round the outside, of the temple, it gets to one point where you stop. You can feel it get a little bit warmer. You see Arcus's nose sort of prick up a bit, and you can sort of smell as well, and you can hear lots of different. And as you poke your head very, very stealthily around the corner, you can see a good sort of at least 12 zombie creatures.
Yeah, oh hang on, sorry, give me two secs.
Okay.
Oh, it was I'm saying that they're going to pick up the shopping, I think.
Okay. So you hear all of these groaning noises as you peek around and see at least 12 zombies all clustered in the same corridor. You feel that hand on your shoulder again, and in your ear all you hear is a run. And then the zombies all turn at the same time that she said it to you, seem to hear that.
Oh no!
And you can see them all start to run, not zombie stumble, through that corridor. And start to make good speed on your position.
Okay. I'm not as fast as Arcus. Do I have time to cast haste upon myself?
Well, haste would be an action, which is 6 seconds or less. So, yeah, you can cast haste. That's one of your.
Hang on, I'm just going to double check. So remember, it has a thing that is less than ideal once it's.
When it ends, you have to stop. So it lasts for a certain amount of time, and then when you've...
up to a minute.
Yeah, so you can be hasted for a minute, and then afterwards you will have at least 6 seconds of...
Okay, so it's basically sprinting the fuck as fast as you can go, and then some.
Yeah.
Okay, so a minute. Oh, fuck. How far is that going to get me?
Well,
pretty far.
Yeah, if you can run at that would be 120 feet every 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's nice.
Times 10, so that's 1,200 foot.
And Arcus can run
Slightly faster. His speed is 40 foot.
So he would be 80.
Yeah.
And I'd be 120.
Yeah.
Okay. I will probably purposefully stay at his speed because I don't want to run off without him.
Uh-huh.
Or actually, alternatively, I could just cast Misty Step. How far does that take you? 30 feet?
60, I think. Please hold caller.
Did you send me a sheet for Arcus?
I did, but what do you need to know?
I was just gonna try and get it up. That's all. There it is.
It's on the back, yeah. It's 30 foot. Sorry, yeah, 30 foot. Which you can do as a bonus action. So if you've got the spell slots, it means that you could run 120, teleport 30 for 150, for however many spell slots you've got.
Or I could cast haste on myself. Both me and Arcus could run a bit further. Oh no, because it's concentration. Fuck. I was gonna say maybe I could cast it on Arcus.
You can cast haste on Arcus, but only on Arcus, not you.
Hang on. Damn it.
Zombies are coming.
Fuck. Wait, how fast are they running?
Are
they running like...
As fast as they would if they were people, it seems.
Oh, okay. So as fast as I could.
Well, unless you're hasted.
Yeah. Fuck it. Haste.
Okay. You start to feel that weird magical adrenaline kick in.
Can I cast Misty Step on someone else? Is it just on
No,
me?
it's just yourself. You don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, but I will keep pace with Arcus. time.
Okay, cast haste on yourself and you run 80 feet around. So you sprint back around the way that you came, back into the room where the torches and all the bodies and stuff were in the altar. You run into that room. As you're sprinting past, you don't stop to take note of it, but you see Nehemia just sort of up against one wall, like leaning her back on it, and sort of like gives you the what's up as you run past her. You get back up into the staircase. You can hear, although you're going pretty fucking fast, but they're still in the room as you're leaving it. And you can see now, you take a very quick second to look back, and you see that there's now probably about 22 of them at rough glance, and they're still pouring in. You get up to the second set of staircase, and you see in front of you are 3 other zombies coming down the staircase.
Cool. Where's my thingy? Double check what it does.
What are you looking at?
Conjure barrage.
Barrage. Conjure Nigel Farage. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say the group behind me are in a 60-foot cone as they come up the stairs?
As they come up, well, yes, because the stairs are only about 10 foot wide. So it would be basically a 60-foot line, because the outsides wouldn't matter.
Excellent. I will use an action to cast Conjure Barrage.
Okay, what's it do in that 60-foot cone?
I throw a non-magical weapon or fire a piece of non-magical ammunition into the air to create a cone of identical weapons that shoot forward then disappear. Each creature in a 60-foot cone must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes D3/8 damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one.
So they would get 7 minus 1 is 6, which does not beat your 16. So roll your damage.
Hooray! So 3d8 damage. The damage type is the same as that of the weapon or ammunition. So I'm gonna
Yeah, I figured.
because I don't really fancy having my nice shiny axe used up already. No. I should press it 3 times. 20.
Okay, so you see as
2 8s and a 4.
all of the ones that were along the staircase just like fall like dominoes. Stop, don't sing. Down that staircase. There are still other ones behind it that weren't in that cone, but there's significantly fewer of them now. I'd say probably 12 of them. Like,
And they are in theory trying to deal with difficult terrain.
yes, exactly. So they've definitely been slowed down. There are, however, still 3 in front of you. You have, that's casting a spell, isn't it, Conjure Barrage?
Yes.
So you have another action if you want to use it before the other zombies get their turn. Where you can attack twice because you have extra attack. Yes, you do.
So if I attack, can Arcus also attack?
So when you attack, when you use your action to attack, you get 2 attacks. You can use one of those and give it to Arcus. So you can attack once and he can attack once, or you can attack twice.
Yeah, so I can attack once and he can attack once.
Correct. Yes.
Cool. The 3 zombies...
Oh, hang on a second. You get, because you're even better at it now, you get double economy. So when you give one of your attacks to him, he can attack twice.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, because looking at all the stuff that Bill has on his, it's like, there's a lot of stuff.
you have a lot of stuff, you just don't think
Yeah.
you've engaged with it yet.
Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, that seems like a good idea. And, you know, having a beast companion means that every day is flanking day.
Well, only if you are flanking, because they're all directly in front of you and you can't get past.
We not move around?
Not without... Like, you're in a staircase and there's zombies coming.
Fine. He at least gets his pack tactics thing then.
Yes.
So I'm just going to axe them in the face.
Yeah.
Axe them a question.
Okay. Do you want to roll for your axe? which is plus 12 to the attack.
I rolled a 5.
Plus 12 is 17. That hits. Can you describe your axe before you roll damage?
If Soul Edge was an axe.
Were you happy with the picture I drew, or did you want to change it?
I think the only thing I would change is where the teeth were, because it kind of looked like there was just a hollow bit in the blade, which I thought would be a bit strange.
I mean, there is, but okay. So
Like, yeah. So instead of it having like a mouth that's actually open, just have it sort of ingrained into it, if that makes sense. So still have that image.
oh, but just the blade continues, and this is just embossed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. And then this is where you would stick your gate stones.
Yep.
Cool. All right then. Yeah. So you make an attack. You roll d8 plus 7.
Okay. D8. 8.
Nice.
7.
So yeah, but one of them just like split it in two without even thinking about it. Okay, so Arcus gets 2 attacks on the other 2. You want to know what you roll already adds, don't you? He gets plus 9 to hit, and it's 2d4 plus 7 piercing damage.
So do I just get the one attack there?
Yeah, so you get 1 attack, and then you've given 1 attack to Arcus, so you can have 2.
Okay, cool. So am I within 5 feet of the other ones? Because you said they were basically in a line.
You'd have to move again, but you've definitely got enough movement to do it. So if you want to be like, huh, and then I help. But again, he's yeah, he's going to get advantages
Okay.
on both of these
Attack,
hits.
attack. So you say he gets advantage?
Yes. That's how pack tactics works, right?
Well, I have
Yes.
to be within 5 feet. So.
Yeah, which you will be as you walk up the stairs. So yeah, he has advantage.
Okay, cool. So the first roll is 17.
Plus 9 is yes.
And the other one is 13, so...
Plus 9 is also yes. So that is 2 lots of 2d4 plus 7. If they survive, they need to make a strength save or be prone.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 7, so
Yeah.
that's 6 plus 7.
13. Okay, so he chomps it, so you've run up the stairs, conjure barrage at the back, and just knocks them all out. You bring your axe up. That's definitely his command. You bring your axe up and split one down the middle. Arcus jumps through the corpse as it like falls apart, digs his teeth into the chest of one of them, just pulls its spine out. Now, second attack, roll the damage.
Am I not rolling to hit?
You already did, remember? You rolled a 13 and a 17.
Well, that was because it was with advantage. There were 2 targets.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll. Yeah, that's...
So first one was 10, other one was a 9, so a 10.
yeah, so 19 to hit. Yeah, okay, roll damage on that.
Okay. So it was 2d4 plus 7.
Yeah.
Another 6.
So 6 plus 7 is 13. Yeah. So he tears the spine from the front out of the first one, and then pounces on the second one and just starts like biting its head until there's nothing left, and then just stops, looks at you, and then as you continue around the stairs, it follows you loyally as you get outside. Yeah. So you hear that the zombies there's still other zombies coming up, but they're slower now as there's lots of bodies to contend with. You come out the main door of the temple and out into the courtyard, and you can now see like there seems to be like bricks scattered across the courtyard, and you can see yep, it looks like a weird sort of abomination mix of a half orc and a gorilla. This big like wild looking thing, like one side's like 1/3 bigger than the other, covered in hair in some places where it's not usual, and it just roars at you.
I'm assuming that I can't just try and persuade this to help me kill a dragon.
Do you want to roll initiative against it?
Really? I want to carry on running.
Well, you can. It's just
I just rolled a 3, don't I? And
yeah,
mine.
yeah, correct.
Ugh, I rolled a 7.
You get good on your initiative though, don't you? So
Plus 5, isn't it?
yeah, so 13. He got 14. So the creature sort of stumbles towards you and is going to make 3 attacks against you, just swinging its massive fists. You alright?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remind myself myself if haste does anything for attacks.
It gives you +2 to your AC, so you've got 19 armor class.
Okay.
But he's going to swing at Arcus first,
No, don't go.
who has an AC of 16. So, oops, bad roll. This is terrible. Okay, fuck's sake. 6 plus 5 is 11, so that's a miss. 11 plus 5 is 16, which is a hit. So that's clocked. For God's sake, so that's 9 damage on Arcus, who has 52 hit points, so he's doing alright. And then, can you make a strength saving throw for Arcus, please?
Yeah. I rolled a 14.
14.
So that's 15.
Plus,
So he gets
yeah.
plus 1.
Okay, so he is knocked prone as he sort of like tumbles across the floor, gets knocked back 10 foot, and then he comes at you with a haymaker. Oh, for God's sake, with a 9, so that's a miss. And so he's right up in your grill, having swung, and you just duck underneath it. Your turn. He can, yeah. I should point out as well, you've got this round and another round left until haste runs out.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so...
He's not stopping you from leaving. Like, there's plenty of room around, just to let you know.
Yeah. Make like a tree and get the fuck out of there.
Make like my pants and split. Okay. So you start heading out from the door you came in. He is going to get an attack of opportunity against you. It's probably going to be a bit moot, but...
Disadvantage because of haste. Okay.
No,
that doesn't appear to be a thing.
No, it's yeah. So that is...
My speedy boots.
That is 11 to hit you, so that is a miss. So he swings wildly again, and you just go, nope. The two of you sort of start sprinting out. Arcus with a little bit of a limp, but he's still dutifully running out. With your speed and their speed, so it'd be 120. Yeah, even with a turn of you resting, you're still going to be faster than they are. And so you sprint out of there and start making your way back home.
Where is home?
So, I'm glad you asked. So home now is you can decide what name you give it, but it's basically Morrigan's bat cave. So the bird cage I thought might be a cool name for it.
That's a film about the drag queen.
Yes. It's bigger than the Bird Box though, which is another film about drag queen.
Oh, hang on, there's someone else coming to say hello.
Alright.
Hi. No, I'm doing a video chat with my friend playing D&D.
And you... Yeah, so basically it is literally a cave, but with the help of Raoul and your hard work as well, you've sort of built it out into what is now a comfortable enough home. You take a step in, sort of, it's the classic sort of go behind a waterfall sort of deal, but once you're in there, then it's got sort of all of the ancient conveniences.
All of the ancient.
Yeah. You walk past the front door where you can see there are 3 sort of glowing metal plates, which you and Raoul set up together, which are all basically a constant locate person spell. One's looking for Nehemia, one's looking for your mum, and then there's 2 for... Well, sorry, there's one that just looks for fiends in general, in case the devils are ever nearby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You move up into what is your sort of sunken dining room, and you see Raoul as there's preparing some food for the 2 of you. Turns around. Oh, hello. how did it go? Did you get what you need?
I mean, I got a gate stone, but also I made friends.
Oh, you didn't bring any home with you, did you?
I mean, I ran really fast, so it might not come here.
I mean, it's fine. If we get any of that sort of trouble, and he sort of points to the locate person, he's got the alarm spell set up around the whole place as well. It's like, as you say, you're much faster than most things I know. You said you found a gate stone. That's fantastic. I should focus on that. Can I see it?
Yep, I will show him the gate stone.
And he takes it out. Thank you. Ah, yes, that is exactly what we've been looking for. Did you find the others? They should have all been together.
No, the chest was empty. I don't know why someone hated that one in particular.
So what?
Just didn't find that one.
You'll have to give me more details then. What did you not find this in the chest? Please, I need more.
It was in a corpse's bag.
Oh. Oh.
There are a lot of dead people.
Oh, you think there was some
Some of
sort?
Some of them were also not fully dead because they came for me.
Right.
Those are the friends I made. Killed most of them.
Okay. This is interesting. So, did you get any sort of identification on any of them?
I'll describe the robes and stuff.
Yes. No. That's. Those are the keepers that should have had it. But you said that the chest was empty, so it's been someone got there before you. Why would they leave one? Did you didn't find it was only bodies of the keepers, not anybody else?
Hey, which ones is he identifying as the keepers?
So basically the guys that were all dressed the same would be the keepers if you have that dialogue with him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there were the other guys and there were people in like armor and stuff. But they were dead too.
Okay.
And then there was this one guy that had one in his bag. So presumably they were, someone went in, some ones went in and stole them, but one of the people maybe died while running away with it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds like you've assessed it pretty successfully. Oh man, who would strike?
Also, something was messing with my head and kept showing me Nehemia.
Oh. Oh.
Can I describe what I sort of felt and saw and heard?
Yeah, he said. But you know she's still missing, don't you?
Yes, that's why I'm a bit mad about that.
Good, yes. You know that's okay. It would be really great if we could find out who that individual was that didn't get away with stealing it. He was there nothing identifying him?
Oh, there was this ring.
Oh, he puts his hand up.
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Well, no, this is good news. It's a combination of news. Let me just double check. And he goes up to one of his bookshelves and pulls something up.
Is this one of those cases where we've got an answer, but it's not a simple answer?
I mean, that seems to be our life over the last. It's been 8 years now, hasn't it?
Yes,
Anyway.
It was like that for the 8 years.
That's well. I can only take your word for that. I wasn't around. I know this group. They're a smuggling ring, which makes sense as why they'd be stealing gate stones. It does mean that they could be scattered to the four winds, but it means we have a starting point.
Are we going to need another scrying screen?
Maybe. What might be better is a boat. They operate out of Lakem. I don't know if you've ever actually been outside of here or Britannia, but Lakem is a continent to the east. It's a very, very different place, but that's where this group operates from. It would be worth checking there. At least then we can follow the money.
Is it where Raoul is from?
No, I'm not from Lakem. I'm from the other one that I haven't named yet.
I was going to say, I don't remember where Raoul is from. I just know that he's not from...
Oh, actually, no, fuck yeah, he is from Lakem.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to go to the continent that I was born on.
Hey, you don't suppose you have a map of that?
I do actually. Let me get it out of my... So, this is Britannia, where you killed the dragon, where Lorariat is now living. This is the continent where you did most of the campaign on, where Stag Murder and Drake Mount, etc. So you're here right now. This is Lakem.
Oh boy.
So this is the continent of Lakem. Yeah.
Okay. Does it have a lot of lakes?
Fuck you.
I mean, surely I was going to make that joke at some point. Yes, I can see.
Lakem. Not Lakem. And yeah, so he recommends getting a boat and going there. He gives you back the ring. Do you want me to check you out? You said you were seeing your friends?
Yes. Head check, please.
Okay. Can I get you to give me an intelligence saving throw, a wisdom saving throw, and then a charisma saving throw?
Okay, so intelligence saving throw.
Which is +0.
Okay, so I rolled an 11.
Okay. Wisdom is +3.
Rolled an 18.
Okay. And then charisma is +2.
Okay. I rolled a 2.
Ooh, 4. Okay. So.
I am not very charismatic.
As so he does some arcane stuff, some just sort of talking to you about what you were going through and what you were seeing. Neither of you can really get to the bottom of why it's happening, but he just knows that it's not like there's no magical presence that's causing it.
Not within me anyway.
No. You don't sort of seem to suffer from the conversation that you're having, other than you do just break down and cry for a good hour or so afterwards while you're talking to him, and it like you don't hold your composure at all. It just you can see that it's broken you to have that experience, and he comforts you to the best of his ability, but
I eat a pint of ice cream.
Yeah.
Watch a sad film.
yes, and you also gain 1 level of exhaustion from the fact that you didn't sleep. You just stayed up watching Bridget Jones's Diary and eating ice cream. Yeah, that in the morning when you've had time to sort of recover as best you can, Raoul greets you again with breakfast. As good a vegan breakfast as you can get. Yeah, nice. And he's like, I was doing some thinking about trying to find this smuggling ring. Your comrade Lord Marcus, I believe he has a whole fleet of ships, and I know you haven't spoken at all to anyone other than me in the last 8 years. Do you think maybe it might be worth giving him a visit?
Is this you trying to make me socialise again?
Yes. And I don't want to upset you a second time, but the last time you socialized other than me was with someone who doesn't exist. Just think maybe now might be the time to...
I don't know how to people anymore.
I can come with you to do the introductions. We would need to set up certain arrangements here so the home is safe. And Arcus will take good care of you, and he shushes his head. Arcus doesn't, he's just...
Morrigan, very autistic. It's gonna suck, because I imagine everyone else has built up their homes again and made them better, and mine is literally a ruin with a big troll, gorilla, giant, hybrid zombie thing.
Morrigan, Lady Galathinius, you may have lost your home for now. You may have lost your lineage and a lot of your money, but you will never
And
lose.
possessions,
You will never lose my respect.
and beast companion, and weapons.
What did we talk about? Negative spirals. Now, look, I respect you, and though you hold no official title, I will always be your humble servant. But please get the fuck out the house and go see your friend.
Grumpily straps on armor.
I just want to fuck you,
In the same way that if someone has to dress up nice for a family, what they want to do is just stay inside and play video games.
Oh my god, that's so on point. Yes, absolutely. So I take it you head out and head towards Drakemount then.
Yeah.
Okay. As you are walking along the road, you know it's about sort of 3 to 5 days travel. You're both sort of on board with that. You've done a lot of walking around recently. You get about.
Do I regain my not exhaustion? Because I assume you would have slept at some point.
That's why you have the exhaustion, because you couldn't sleep because of how much that upset you.
Yeah, but if it was like 5 days travelling.
Oh, during the travel, yeah. Presumably.
Okay.
However, the last thing that we'll do for this bit is about an hour and a half into the start of the walk. Sort of walking along, you're talking to yourself or Arcus or just mulling things over. You feel a hand slip into yours, and you just sort of turn to your left and see Nahimi, and she's like, "Come on then, this will be fun." And for the rest of that trip, although you try not to acknowledge it, she is holding your hand and walking with you the whole time. End scene.
Arcus is very broken.
Yay! Thank you for doing that with me.
That's okay.
That was fun.
Thank you for also doing it with me.
Yeah, so if you're happy, I'll send that video out to everyone else, and this will be like, and then they're gonna sort of tag on from each other as well. So when I send the second one around, it'll, yeah. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna stop recording.
Okie dokie.